So yeah. So again, hi, and let's see how our community has grown over the months. So currently, you are invited to the Cloud Native Hooghly meetup, and today we are a member of 580 plus members. We have done four events. Couple of them were offline, and couple of them were online, like this one, and including all the teams. We have 27 core members who empower the meetups which we are hosting, and a new initiative which the team has launched called KuberTENes has also reached to 35 members. So in the events which we have hosted offline, in some of them we had more than 100 plus members which enjoyed, came together and shared the spirit of Kubernetes. So in this occasion where we are celebrating Kubernetes, the agenda is very simple. So we will go through our speaker Utkarsh, who will share the small journey from nothing to Kubernetes and how things went. Then we will discuss couple of Kubernetes and CNCF initiatives which we are actively promoting, by which you can learn couple of things and also learn how to use your skill set to contribute to cloud native projects as well as to use them and get some opportunities in the field. Lastly, we will have some breakout rooms so that you can meet new people, because you all over here want to network and online it's hard to network. So we will have some breakout rooms so you can meet each other. So don't be shy over there. Open your cameras, open your audio, and then meet and talk with other people so you can network and help each other while you're learning more about Kubernetes and the cloud native ecosystem. And lastly, we will open the stage for questions. Your questions can be anything around Kubernetes, certifications, cloud native, DevOps, everything. So today I'm your host Ritik. I'm a CNCF ambassador myself, and I work at a company called Platform as a platform advocate called Loft Labs. And I'm very excited to welcome all of you today over this platform. So our first speaker is Utkarsh. Utkarsh,
Hey, hi, hello everyone.
yeah, so Utkarsh was very active and he reached out to us a couple of days ago and he wanted to present the journey of Kubernetes. So he is here today to do that. So Utkarsh, take over the stage and let's share the journey with our attendees.
Okay, cool. So, hello everyone, and on this occasion of Kubernetes birthday, I'm going to present a small talk of how Kubernetes evolved over this decade, starting from 2014 to right now 2024. So, let me share my screen first. So, is my screen visible?
It is.
Okay. So, a little bit about myself first. So, I am a cloud intern at Viz Labs. Also, I am an official captain member and also open source contributor at the GlassQ project. I'm also a Google Cloud mentee under the Innovators program of Google Cloud. You can connect with me on my social handles and also by scanning this QR code. So Kubernetes, 10 years journey. So around 2013, what happened was a lot of cloud computing buzz over there. Everyone was so every company was like a internet company, and those who are not like an internet company, they're moving towards the internet company, and they need servers and all the abstraction, like they want networking and they want their infrastructure handled by the cloud providers. And so every company was coming to cloud, and the major player in cloud at that time was the AWS. So AWS started way before all the other clouds like Google Cloud and Azure and DigitalOcean, Oracle, whatever. So AWS was the bigger player, and AWS had all the market share at that time. So what happened is that all the other players in cloud computing, they wanted the customers. So they were trying to think new ideas that what we can do so we can also uh, get customers for our cloud computing services which we are offering. And around that time, what happened was Docker came in. So in 2010, Solomon Heights and with other his two members, he founded Docker, and in 2011 they launched Docker. So Docker was like a thing that abstract and that gives a image like a container image, and it was like a very big solution for that time. It was a very big universal solution people used to think like this image we can use everywhere, and this is what's solving our problem. So Docker plays a very important role. Why? Because what Docker did is that Docker made it easy for developers to get their hands on things like containerization. So it is not like that containerization never existed before Docker or Docker created containerization. It existed before Docker also, basically for Linux, and Docker made it easy for folks to get their hands onto containerization. So containerization started getting a lot of buzz around that time. Why? Also because a lot of companies was shifting their architecture from monolithic to microservices. So microservices was getting really popular at that time, and containerization and microservices, they go very hand in hand. So Docker got very popular. Yeah, and yeah, so Google, uh, so Google saw this opportunity, and the engineers at Google, like Tim Hawkins and Brendan Burns, and all the main folks, all the creative and smart people at Google, they started thinking that how can we make some tool which can also be like orchestrate this containers, because there were a lot of containers and which were used by people in their infrastructure. And Google used to use this system called Borg before Kubernetes also. So they took inspiration from Borg and they tried to create another container orchestration. But it is not like that. There were no only Kubernetes is the only tool that was at that time in the containerization section. There were also many tools like Mesos. So Mesos was a tool which was very popular before Kubernetes also in the orchestration section. But in future we will look at what made Kubernetes so big. Yeah. So yeah. So what happened was that around that time, folks at Google created Kubernetes in 2014, taking inspiration from Docker and what the technical market was at that time in Silicon Valley. And they launched Kubernetes in the DockerCon in the 2015, I guess. So it is not like that Kubernetes was the only project which was launched at that time. There were also 6 other projects which were launched in the same section of container orchestration. There was Tupperware from Facebook and other startups also offering their frameworks to orchestrate. But what made the Docker Kubernetes so much successful because of its open sourcing. So folks at Google, they thought, why can't we open source this thing so we can make a bigger community of Kubernetes. So a lot of thing happens behind the scene, making Kubernetes open source, and it was very hard for them to make it open source because Google used to run Borg internally, and they don't want such technology to be used by uh, like different companies, because Google was already behind AWS and they wanted a larger market share, or they want to compete in that space. So, but in spite of all these things, Google decided to open source Kubernetes. So the benefits, so the benefits of open sourcing Kubernetes, there are a lot of benefits like faster innovation. So as soon as Kubernetes became open source, a lot of contributors came into the project, and some were from big companies like Core OS and Red Hat. Like very smart from Core OS, his name was Clayton, and he came like he was one of the first contributor. Who was not from Google. He was like an open source contributor to the project, and so faster innovation started to happen in the project, and so a lot of bugs were there initially. uh, it was hard to manage the project, but this is the only uh, benefit of open sourcing Kubernetes, that it gets fast to innovate, and also wider adoption. Like as soon as Kubernetes came into picture, a lot of people tried to like adopt into their production. So people were using Mesos or some other tools like Docker Swarm was also there around that time. But if you remember, the game came in like around 2016 or 2017. It was like Pokemon Go, and Pokemon Go used Kubernetes in their production. And Kubernetes at that time was very early in stage, and they were like, we cannot handle this much load. So folks at Google were also like, we don't want this much folks to use our software right now. But it was also a lesson for them that Kubernetes is going to become very big in upcoming future. And it's been 10 years, and Kubernetes, like it is the second large open source project in the world after Linux right now. Also, some of the benefits of open sourcing Kubernetes is customization and flexibility. So as soon as Kubernetes become open source, all the developers around the world, they started customizing it, started making their own softwares, like self-managed softwares around Kubernetes, using the custom resource and custom resource definitions of Kubernetes, develop new tools around it, and the whole CNCF ecosystem is built around mostly around the Kubernetes. Like all the projects, if you can see in the CNCF landscape, are mostly for Kubernetes. And also one of the benefit is reduced vendor locking. Yes. So what used to happen is that a lot of folks like they use cloud providers, and like if they are using some of their services, so it is like vendor locking. They cannot do other things that for that. Or if they want to reduce their cost, or if they are using some services, so they cannot shift or to the shift to other clouds or something like that. And when Kubernetes came in, so this problem got solved. So it is not like that they have to use only that infrastructure, because Kubernetes itself used to manage their own infrastructure. As we know that Kubernetes is also good at scaling the virtual machines and all that. So these are all the benefits of open sourcing Kubernetes. So thank you, and this was my talk, mostly a short story about Kubernetes. And I would like to share some resources. So there are some good documentaries on YouTube about Kubernetes. So like a big story. So you can also check this out on the Honeypot channel. There were two parts, mostly of 30 minutes. And also, if you want to know about Borg, like what was before Kubernetes, where the inspiration come from, so you can also check the John Wilke's conference talk on YouTube. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Utkarsh, for the awesome presentation. Uh, so we will wait a couple of minutes. If you have any questions, so feel free to drop them on the chat. And after that, we will look in a program which CNCF offers so that you can learn how to contribute to CNCF ecosystem. So it is one of the programs which I have also been a part of. But let's wait till if someone has any questions. So yeah, till then, uh, drop a plus one if you want to contribute to CNCF projects on the chat. So Anish has a very good question, and we will continue. We will talk about this just in couple of minutes. So let's go there. But apart from that, any other questions? I don't think so there are. So let's go over there. So I will share my screen for this. Uh, yeah. So if you can see my screen, so this is an awesome program from CNCF. So let me talk a bit about the program. So if you see, it's a program by which you will be understanding and learning about how to contribute. The name Zero to Merge focuses on how, as a zero, like someone who is just new to the cloud native ecosystem, can go to merging a PR to the CNCF projects. So this is the thing, and it is a very intensive program where in the 4 weeks you will learn how to collaborate on GitHub issues, create PRs, and participate. So the session contains a lot of practical activities, and you can collaborate with your peers over there as well. This is hosted by the head of ecosystem in CNCF, Taylor, and a lot of fun things is over there. So if you can read this, there are a couple of things which this program offers. Firstly, understand how the CNCF and the open source works and how the contribution work, and then understand. So in a big project, like for example, if we go to Kubernetes only, there might be a lot of issues. Like there are 1.8 thousand issues right now opened over here. But the problem is not the amount of issues, but the issue that is relatable to your work knowledge. So this program offers that as well. Identifying the issues that will help you to contribute. Next is this program offers how to write, submit, and revise effective PRs. So whenever there is some issue which you want to work at, and after you work, you create pull request. So Kubernetes is a bit advanced project to get started, but there are a lot more projects in the CNCF ecosystem which you can see over here. So let's explore this. So this program also offers a way by which you can look at them and choose projects where you want to work. So generally it is like if you see this is so many projects. So finding a right project which you relate with, it's kind of hard. So this program is a way by which you can do that. Nextly, you can learn to communicate and collaborate with the project mentors. So like for example, even in this PR, you will see this is not that much active at now, but let's look at the closed PRs. So for example, this PR has been merged, but whenever you submit a change, there must be some communication which you are missing out or some things you want to talk about. So if you see people are suggesting changes over here and stuff. So this program also teaches you how to do that. And last is communication and collaborating. Whenever you talk with maintainers, you might have a lot of doubts, and maintainers are quite busy with their projects. So how can you communicate easily with them? How can you make sure your communication is efficient and you can deliver what you want into the projects? So that is also an important thing which as a non-native speaker you might face. So this program touches on how to effectively communicate your ideas and collaborate. And lastly, we are a part of a community that values diversity, creativity, and innovation. We are working on things that helps applications scale, and we are doing together in small communities ranging across the globe. So by being and investing 2 to 4 hours per week to the program, you can achieve a lot. So the links I will share right now on chat. So you can fill this, and once you do, you can participate into the program. So let me just drop the chat link over here. uh, Next is, once you get done with the program, you will get something like a credential, which shows that you are like, it's kind of a certificate which you get that shows you are efficient enough for those skills. So this is my certificate which I got in the cohort one, and the next cohort is soon starting. So feel free to register over there, and so that you can get those and efficiently contribute to the ecosystem. So, any questions on this thing? Uh, any questions, specific questions on how you can contribute or anything like that? So we can tackle those, and then we will talk about CNCF certifications. So, who people are more excited to contribute to the CNCF ecosystem? Drop a +1 in the chat. Would love to know. Okay, that is a good number. And the next question is, how many of you always wanted to have a CNCF certification, like something like a CKA or a KCNA, like Certified Kubernetes Admin, or a KCNA? So, like, did you ever find the certification to be very complicated, or did you find the certification to be simple? Okay, then I just wanted to take some time to discuss about the CNCF certifications. So we can get started with that, and then we will have breakout rooms so you can talk with another people in the group and discuss how you can share knowledge. So yeah. So if you see, CNCF has a lot of certificates. Some are easy, some are very hard. But what are those certifications? That is the question. So if you want to understand the type of certifications over here, we can just go and see at first and then discuss how things actually are. So you can see there are a lot of certifications over there, but the thing I want to focus on are the simple ones. So when you get started, getting started with something like KCNA is helpful. So what is KCNA? KCNA is the Kubernetes and Cloud Native Associate. So this certificate teaches you the basics of the exam, like how you can talk about the fundamentals, the basics of orchestration and the architectures, and mostly observability as well, like how you can observe your application, how the data ingestion happens, as well as the how you deploy your application, like using Argo CD or something like that. So this is a very intensive course for someone who's starting out. But yeah, this is a good certification. And if you are interested, so the next meetup we are doing, we are planning to give away some of those certification vouchers. So if you are interested in the learning path, so there is a very big and good PDF over here which talks about how you can get started by completing those courses, and which are free by the way. And by the next meetup you can get a voucher and sit for the exam. So that is how you can shine your knowledge across the cloud native community. That's it. After this is done, there are a couple of complicated certification as well, which are a bit advanced. Like for example, if you look at CKA, so this is a bit complicated certificate which talks about specific Kubernetes things on how you can admin configure stuff like networking, scheduling, and security. So if you're getting started, starting with the basic certification is awesome, but moving forward, you can do a more complicated one. So, yep, I will just drop in couple of links which I found useful for the certification. Yeah. And by the doing those courses, you will also understand it how actually things are in the ecosystem, because you get a high level overview of couple of things like orchestration. So right now, we will open up the floor for any questions regarding certification, the training program, or anything specific. So if you have any, let's get done with 8:35, and then we will do breakout rooms so that you can network with the fellow individual. I wanted to keep these sessions a bit light so you can just get a gist of what the CNC platform is and what Kubernetes and another projects are and what they are offering. So any questions are welcomed over here around the CNC ecosystem. So Aritra has a question. Let's discuss. Last week, I just enrolled myself in a project under LFX mentorship. So I want to know: is it okay to complete the task assigned on my task opt, or I have to contact with the project mentor through the email as well as send him a resume and cover letter? So the way LFX mentorship works is like you need to complete the task which has been assigned, and in the platform they can see the people who has submitted the task. So you don't need to send anything else. So, but on an occasional basis, it's good if you have prior contact with the mentor because it helps you to show your skill set to them. So yeah, that is the gist. So you don't need to send anything else, but just complete the task and all the best. So those who are unaware what is Alfix mentorship, let's uh, go through that a bit because it's a good thing and where people can learn. So Alfix mentorship is a bit for people who are already experienced in contributing. So it is like an internship for you, like GSOC, but just focusing on the CNCF ecosystem. So it helps you to contribute to project, earn stipend, and learn a lot of things on contributing and open source. So if you see, there are a couple of projects which already are accepting applications. I think let's see if there are any projects. So right, the applications are closed right now, but you can see there are a lot of projects accepting applications for specific things they want. Like for example, if we look in this project is accepting application on was accepting application on the CLI, how you can improve that. So by those projects, you can learn a lot as well as focus on improving your skill sets over here. Any another questions?
I have been meaning to ask this. In the LFX mentorship, are you aware? Like, is there any kind of like experience, maximum experience required, or anything like that? Like, if you're too experienced, you won't be allowed, or anything. Are you aware of something like that?
uh LFX mentorships are generally meant for students, but I've seen couple of people with a career break join them, but I don't have a specific idea. Ronit might be able to help, or Utkarsh might be able to help.
Yeah. So LFX is not for student only, and GSOC also. So they have changed their policies. Working professional can also apply. I also applied for Knative project this year. So if you have a lot of experience, that would also good. Or if you are just starting, and if you can choose, like there are very experienced projects also and very beginner friendly. Like you have to make changes in the website, and then there are Kubernetes related projects also. Like Kubernetes also took part this term, like from June to August. So you can also take part if you are a working professional.
Yep. Thanks, Utkarsh.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so right now, what we will do is like networking online is kind of hard. So we will just randomly assign people in a breakout room, so you can meet another students and professionals who are there. So this is one of the very good activities which I had done during KubeCon, the times when it was online. So it helped me connect with a lot of people and also got me a technical writing gig. So by which I earned money. So you never know how your connections can work out. So let's see how it goes, and we will do this for like 10 minutes. So you can collaborate and talk with the people, and then we can come back over here and discuss and share what we have learned from other people. Sounds good? Yeah, let's do it. So I will assign 4 people together, and let's go. So you can get the notification on joining. So yeah.
Hey folks present over here, do join the breakout rooms. Like नीचे यहाँ स्क्रीन पे देखो लीव के लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में ब्रेकआउट रूम्स है. Just click on that, you will be able to see the breakout rooms, room 2, room 3, room 4. Just join in any one of the rooms and leave the main room here, okay?